All right, hey there, algebra students. This is a video for Cornell Notes over Arithmetic Sequences 2. You might notice that I've set up my notebook page here. I've put the title up at the top. I have put the big question here, how do I shortcut recursive adding and subtracting patterns? That's what this is really about, because arithmetic sequences are always adding or subtracting patterns. And so when you look at this, I hope you pause just now to try to set up your own Cornell Notes page, and then you're going to press play here again in just a sec after you've copied that stuff down when we start looking at our first problem. All right, so let's go ahead and start looking at that first problem. So over here it says the arithmetic sequence AI is defined by the formula. I'm going to write down this problem in my notes. A1 is equal to -1, and AI is equal to AI minus 1 plus 2. Okay, so what is the 15th term of the sequence? Okay, so thing one is that this is an arithmetic sequence. It has an adding pattern. And thing two is that if we're looking for the 15th term and it's defined like this is called a recursive. Whoops, I misspelled it. Pardon me. RECURSIVE function. It's recursive because it gives you where it starts. I'm going to make a note of that here. So this is where it starts. Starts at -1, and how it grows. Adds 2 each time. And you might wonder how I know that just looking at it. Well, if it defines A1, A1 is always going to be where it starts. And then this business here, which I'm going to rewrite down here, AI equals AI minus 1 plus 2. The way to read that is that if you want to know what you have now, that's AI, that's the thing you're looking for, you need to know what you had last. And that's what it's trying to capture by this I minus 1 business. It's trying to say, if you're looking for AI, then you need to look for the term right before AI. And then add 2. And so when you're dealing with these, you could just start at -1 and then add 2 a bunch of times until you get out to the 15th term. But I want to note a pattern here. So we know that A1 is -1 because it says that. This would be A2, -1 plus 2. And so I'm going to kind of try to write this in another way. And I apologize, I didn't write it like this immediately. So I'm going to start writing out the sequence. It's -1, and then we're going to add 2, and we'll get to +1, and then we'll add 2 again, we'll get to 3, and we'll add 2 again, and we'll get to 5, and this is A1. A2 would be equal to 1, A3 is equal to 3, and A4 is equal to 5. I apologize, I've got a cold, so I'm sniffling a little bit. There may be some other weird noises that come out of me, I apologize. So if you have A1 through A4 there, the thing I want to note is that to find A4, we had to add 2 1, 2, 3 times. I'm going to make a note of that. To find A4, you have to add 2 4 times. Whoops, pardon me, not 4 times, 3 times. To find A4, you have to add 2 3 times. And so that means that I could have written a shortcut function here. I could have said, well, if I want to know what A4 is, I could say start at -1 and then add 2 3 times. And so that's -1 plus 2 times 3, that makes 6. -1 plus 6 is 5, and that's exactly what we found before. And so this leads to a shortcut. And so if I'm looking, and I'll pull my thing down here, if I'm looking for A15, as the problem tells me, I need to start at -1, and then I need to add 2 a bunch of times. And the question is, how many times do I have to add 2? To find the 4th term, we had to add 2 3 times. And so to find the 15th term, you have to add 2 14 times. It's always 1 less than the number of the term. In fact, that's the pattern that you can exploit here. And so this would be -1 plus 2 times 14 is 28, and that is 27. And so A15 is equal to 27, and I should be able to type that in and get it correct, which I did. And I'll make a note in my notes that I got it right. And so I'm going to go back, since this is Cornell Notes, I'm going to go back and think about what each part is. And so over here, I've got the problem that I'm dealing with. This is the shortcut. And this is more of the shortcut. And then this is solution. So that when you're looking at your notes later, you can tell what's going on. I'll leave the summary part that you should do down here. You don't have to write summary. But you should try on your own, after you've tried a few problems, you should try to summarize your findings. And I just realized you weren't able to see the stuff that I wrote here. So I wrote problem up here at the top, the shortcut, because this is the explanation I gave for how you found the shortcut, and then the solution down here. So to find the 15th term, you had to add 2 14 times. And so I'll ask you guys to think about it and try to come up with a summary. You can ask me in person whether or not your summary kind of makes sense. My hope is that by taking the notes that you'll have a better opportunity or a better chance at getting these problems right. Good luck.